Most people think that Newtown or Virginia Tech was the worst incident of mass murder at a U.S. school. They're wrong. Andrew Kyo's neighbors described him as an intelligent, but impatient man. More quietly they spoke of how he had beaten one of his horses to death in a fit of rage when it failed to meet his expectations. His reputation for thriftiness earned him the role of treasurer of the school board in Bath, Michigan, but the other members soon found him difficult to work with. By 1926, his wife became ill with chronic tuberculosis. The cost of her treatments had put a strain on the couple's finances, but Kyo blamed the school superintendent. Around the same time, he ran for the position of town clerk, which he had been temporarily filling, but was soundly defeated. He took this as a personal rejection by the people of Bath, and began to make strange remarks, telling a bus driver he was delivering a paycheck to my boy, "You wanted to take good care of that check as it is probably the last check you'll ever get," or warning a teacher that if she wanted a picnic she would better have it at once. On the morning May 18, 1927, Kyo set off fire bombs that he had set across his property. He then packed his truck full of pyrotol, a repurposed World War I incendiary explosive, and dynamite, and drove into town, telling firefighters arriving at the scene, "Boys, you're my friends. You better get out of here. You better head down to the school." 15 minutes after classes began at the Bath Consolidated School, an alarm clock went off, detonating a stockpile of explosives that Kyo had hidden there in the basement over the course of months, using his position as a school handyman. The initial blast killed 38 people, collapsed the entire north wing of the school, trapping more in the rubble. A half an hour later, as townspeople had flocked to the school to try and rescue students and teachers from the wreckage, Kyo pulled up. When he saw the superintendent there, he waved him over, confessed to the bombing. Kyo then said, "I'll take you with me," and fired the rifle he was carrying into the back seat, detonating the explosives there, and killing 7 more people including himself. Investigators found several things when they examined his farm later. He had girdled all his trees to kill them, cut all his fences, and wired the legs of his horses together so he couldn't be rescued from the fire. They found his wife, beaten to death. They found a sign with the words "Criminals are made, not born" stenciled on it and tied to the fence. And finally, they found unused farm equipment in his barn that, if he had sold it, would have relieved his financial burden.